hope when he makes it home, the alternator is probably not functioning. We found a very loose belt on it, I guess Saturday, after we got the auger fixed. Well, we tightened the belt up, and then the light in the cab, the sign of the alternator is functioning, was, well, it was lit up. We probably got it started with a little bit of ether this morning, but of course the batteries weren't going to be strong, and it's a bit of a rough start when it's cold sometimes if you don't have full batteries. I'm guessing he still only got it in second. I don't think he's in third yet. Dan thinks we might need a new clutch because it about stopped on him in the middle of the road. He doesn't think it's the variable speed belts. He thinks those are fairly tight. But the reason we're making it home with the batteries being low charge is that we put an electric fuel pump on it. We had too much hassle with the mechanical one on the side of the engine. Wired in an electric pump and bypassed the mechanical one. It is quite a distance, I feel like, that it's pulling fuel. Fuel tank's right behind the cab, and the engine's on the other side of the grain tank here in the back. So it probably has 7-8 foot of fuel line just to get some diesel back there. We did that on our other TR-70 too. We put an electric fuel pump on it. Takes quite a bit to get the system primed the first time. With the electric pump, you hook it up and it'll just suck the air through and keep going.
Okay, so we're talking about robotic milkers right now while bringing the combine home. So Bill's in front of us, drive the combine. We have a little farm talk here.
Yes, Brad doesn't like the thought of robotic milkers because he wants to interact with the cows.
Yes.
But then he brings up, well, how do dairy farmers ever do anything? You like go to family functions, have date night. Well, they either know somebody, neighbor who'd be nice to come over and milk, or I guess they wouldn't try after they're done milking to do anything, and then they don't get any sleep before the morning milking. Now, with robotic milkers, you can go and do whatever you want any time of the day. Maybe check the computer every once in a while. Then I had a thought, because you really cannot do grass-fed or more pasture-based dairying with a robotic milker, since the cows either A, won't go far from the milking machine because they always get fed, and that keeps drawing them back and keeping them close, especially if they try to be milked more than twice, 3. I think the machines will let them go up to 4, and then after 4 times a day they get kicked out. So, the game plan is, if it's possible, could you put a robotic milker on some sort of mobile trailer? I'm guessing this would be, probably would use like an old shipping container, put some sort of wheels on, like a hydraulic, lift it up, and move it with your dairy cows to fresh pasture. And I guess you'd have a bulk tank in it too. assuming that would meet all the
USDA.
the USDA guidelines for parlor and cleanliness. We'd have to have a generator with it
Would you?
for power. Yeah. Well, it's an electric
for
robot.
to milk. Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot of pros and cons. That could eat up a lot of fuel to always have a generator running out there, unless you've got a really long extension cord and set up like overhead power lines to plug in this setup. It's just a quick thought on making robotic milking more viable for the grass-fed community. Any thoughts, Brad?
Not really. Just not a big fan of using robots. For me, it's been done for thousands of years by people. For me, it's hard to think of thinking of a robot as completely replacing that. And for me, it's a very intimate relationship between a cow and a person, especially when you're milking them. So I couldn't stand the thought of taking that away. But we're in a modern age, so everything's being adapting to the weather and the economy. So I guess whatever works for you. If you've been farming for 30, 40 years, I'd say you have a pretty good idea of what you want to do or what you don't want to do.
10 miles an hour, everything's far away. That probably feels fast from the cab of the combine, just because the rear wheel steering, you can whip yourself around really fast.
No. How fast do those windrowers go?
Like self-propelled,
Yeah, self-propelled
hay binds. I don't know.
Because that'd be kind of scary if you're going like 15, 20 miles an hour down the road with a windrow or
The hydraulic, just with the swivel wheels on the back.
Yeah, so with the rear steering, that would be kind of scary.
I doubt they go much more than 15.
Yeah, still 15.
Some of the newer ones might make 20 miles an hour, but I think they have a lot more fine tuning.
Do they?
Yes. Or something to keep them going straight. I guess we've done pretty good having enough battery to make it home, but we're only running the fuel pump. Don't have to worry about lights or anything.
Oh.
Yes, I'm sure very soon we'll get to see our bending job. Ran into a stump. It is the only stump in that field.